Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and another video. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, hello and welcome. My name is Lorrien, and in today's video I'm going to be using all the products that I had purchased in my last video from my Ulta and Sephora haul. So some of them were like repurchases and items that I already love and were stocked up on, and then some were like not necessarily new, but they were new to me. There were items that have been out for a while and I was curious and wanting to try them out. So I figured I would make a video trying out those products, because I know, like, for me at least, when there's a new product out there and I want to see somebody else use it first before I purchase it. So these items were kind of already out for a while and I've been seeing them all over Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So I was like, I want to try them. I want to see what they're like. So that's what I did today, and I will be giving you guys my honest opinion, feedback, and thoughts on all those new products. So if you're interested in seeing how everything turned out, well, this is how everything turned out, but if you're interested in seeing how this look came together using all of those products, just keep on watching. So first item or product is going to be that Conair mirror that I had got. It does take 4 AAA batteries and it does light up. So there's a little power here, and it does have 3 settings. So 1, 2, 3, and then off. So I'm gonna see if me turning it on throws off my camera setting. So far, no. So that's a good thing, because my other mirror also lights up like this, but when I turn it on, the lighting, I guess the LED maybe setting, throws off the setting on my camera. So that's why I never use the lighting on my other mirror. But this one, so far, I don't see too much of a difference. So I think I'm going to keep the lights on. Then I'm going to start by applying some of this Linage sleeping mask on my lips. Yes, it's a sleeping mask, but I'm going to use it right now. And I haven't used it yet. I'm just going to use a little bit. This is an item that I know and love. I just put it on my face. I use this currently every night before I go to bed. When you purchase the full size, it does come with an applicator, so you don't have to stick your fingers in like I just did. I hate doing that. I'm only doing it now because I'm home and I'm filming, but if I was to be out and about, I would never stick my fingers in here. It just grosses me out. Plus now with COVID and stuff, I don't like to stick my fingers in balms, but this stuff is amazing. I got this a part of my birthday gift from Sephora. If you saw my Ulta haul, I mentioned it in there. It came part of a trio. So first I'm going to start with my brows, and for that I am going to be using the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. But before I dive into this, I am just going to prime, and for primer I'm just using an oldie but goodie, the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I've mentioned this a dozen times. I love this stuff. I mean, you can't beat it. It's such a good eyeshadow primer. And then I'm just going to pat it in with a brush and then kind of tap it into my brows. I find that my brows last a lot better and longer when I do kind of apply it over my brows. I tend to have oilier eyelids, so this stuff really helps me out and makes a huge difference. And then before I dive in with that NYX pen, I'm just going to kind of use this NYX the Brow Glue to kind of hold my brows into place and then go in with that pen. That was kind of the main reasoning for purchasing that brow pen, because I kind of wanted to use it when I do this fluffy brow look. I'm not gonna go too extreme because I don't want like my hairs sticking straight up. I'm just going to kind of brush this through. Now I'm just going to give that a minute or two to dry and kind of harden up. Once it's dry, then I'm going to go in with that pen. So this is my first time opening this and taking it out. I have no idea what it even looks like. So here it is. And this was in the shade Espresso. So the instructions say to shake it in a downward angle and then just kind of fill in your sparse hairs. Ooh. I'm going to turn the light off. I feel like it is kind of throwing off my camera setting. Okay, I need to hold the mirror a little closer. So you know what this reminds me of? I've had my brows microbladed, and when you get them freshly microbladed, when you walk out of there, they're very stark and intense. And this is what this reminds me of, like when I got my brows freshly microbladed. I don't know, I'm gonna keep going and see how I feel once I finish up and stuff. So I feel like it's not too bad. I personally just need a little more practice with it. I wasn't expecting it to go on so intensely, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I just wasn't expecting it to actually be that dark. Maybe I'm a shade too dark, I don't know, but it's not bad. I just need to play around with it more and get used to it. So I'm gonna fill in the other side and then be back. Okay, I'm back. I filled them both in and they are very intense. I haven't cleaned them up yet though, but I think before I move on, I just want to say this thought. I think what I would use this for would be after I fill them in, and then maybe just a few strokes here and there. But to fill them in completely with this thing, I don't know. But let's clean them up. So I'm going to be cleaning them up with my e.l.f. Hydrating Camel Concealer, and then I'm going to be spot cleaning one of my brushes using that Ulta brush cleaner. This was from my Ulta haul. I've never used this before. I was mentioning in that video that I used the It brush cleaner, which is this right here. I love this stuff. It works really well, but it is pricey. It's like $20, and it's actually smaller than this. This was like $10. So if this works, then we're golden. I'm just gonna put a little bit here. This is a brush that I had used, so I just want to clean off leftover. Oh, it actually does work. Look at that. I don't normally clean my brush like that. That was really rough. So not bad. Couple little sprays, and it did get off some previous concealer. I also forgot to mention this one's in the shade Light Peach. This was not the shade that I liked, but I'm just trying to finish it up because I won't be getting this shade again. The shade that I had repurchased was Light Sand. That one is more my color. This one's a little bit too peachy for me. I definitely needed a lighter shade. So now just lightly going in with my Real Techniques beauty sponge and just lightly blending out that concealer and prepping for eyeshadow. Now before I go in with my eyeshadow, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use that new Revolution Banana Light Setting Powder that I had picked up. This I've never tried before, and especially not for setting my eyelids. So I'm gonna test this. So sometimes I like to set my concealer before my eyeshadow, and usually I use my Huda setting powder. So I'm gonna try this one. It does have a cap on here that I can't get off. And I just chipped my nail. So far, I don't know. Okay, well I got the cap off, but it also got all of my shirts. Okay, so that was my fault. I wasn't supposed to take this whole thing off. There's a film on here that is even harder to get off. I was using my tweezers to take it off, which is not, I'm about to ruin my tweezers. Okay, they don't make this part easy. All right, I got the film off. I'm gonna put the cap back on. That makes more sense. Okay, I got this back on, and oh my god, what is wrong with me today? Like major butterfingers. Okay, this is really little. I'm definitely gonna have to like put it into something else. Okay, now everything is creased because it took so long. Dab dab. Okay, so the shade is not too bad. I mean, as far as how it lasts, I don't know. We'll have to see by the end of the day. But yeah, the shade's not too off. For my eyes, I'm just gonna be using my Morphe by Cherry Coke palette. I feel like this palette is so underrated. This is such a good palette. It's slowly becoming my everyday palette. I absolutely love the shades in here. I feel like the shades vary and they have a good range, and this is actually what I used when I filmed that Ulta haul, my last video. I used this palette and it came out to be such a pretty look. I'm just going to do a light eye look because I want to focus more on all the products, all the new products. And for anyone curious, I'm starting out with my transition shade using the shade So Delish, which is just this shade right here. It's such a good transition shade. Next, I'm gonna go in with that shade right next to it, which is Dessert First, and just kind of pat it into my outer V. And I'm someone that likes to work on both eyes at the same time, and I just kind of like to go back and forth because the way my memory is set up these days, if I complete one entire eye and then try to do the next one, I'll forget like what I did. So I like to work on both eyes at the same time. And then just lightly blend that out. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Sunday Funday, which is this last corner one down here. And then place that like in the very outer V and just kind of keeping it on the outskirts. I like to start by patting it in and then I slowly start to blend out. I feel like my hand kind of stuttered right here and it skipped a beat right here. Now taking the shade Refresh Sesh, I'm just going to place that in my inner corners and my brow bone, and I'm just going to lightly kind of tap it in because I've noticed if I go to drag it, it's going to cake up kind of and take off product. Here I'm okay to like lightly swipe, but my inner corners I can't. So it's kind of like a light pat and sweep, but not necessarily dragging. Now for my lid, I'm going to be taking this light glitter sparkly shade here, which is called Gimme More, and I love this shade. I mean, as you can tell, I've like put a dent in it. It's really pigmented, which to be honest I was shocked about when I first bought this palette. I went in kind of heavy, not expecting it to be as pigmented as it was. But I just spot cleaned my brush with that Ulta spray and it's still kind of wet. So far, that's one negative. With the It one, when you spray it once, wipe it, it's dry. I sprayed it twice with the Ulta spray and it's taking a while to dry. So we'll see how this applies on. Okay, so my brush is still wet. I'm gonna give this a second. If it doesn't dry, I might have to use a different brush. I'm gonna go in with my finger for now. I don't usually like to do that just because, like I said, I'm just a germaphobe and I prefer to just use my brushes. Plus I can be a little more precise and I don't want to like smear and mess anything up, but the Ulta spray did me dirty. All right, I'm gonna grab a different brush and I also just spot cleaned this one with that Ulta spray. Like I don't learn my lessons, but I only sprayed it once this time versus twice. I am gonna spray this a little. Okay, grabbing a third different brush because that Ulta spray is just not drying. So that's one thing with comparing it to the It cleaning brush cleaner. Your brush is still going to be soaking wet. Even with the one spray, the spray is heavy. Like when you spray one spray, a lot is coming out, so it's not drying your brush. That's one thing. I mean, that does matter to me, at least. If I'm using it as I'm going, I need my brush to be dry, and that's what I like about the It one. So that's one negative. Now I have tons of fallout because that was just insane, but I think I'm gonna do like a smudged black liner with that MAC Carbon. I guess you can kind of say it's new to me again because the last time I used this was like over 10 years ago. I had ran out and just never thought to purchase it again because I was just buying eyeshadow palettes that had like a black shadow, but lately my palettes don't really have like a good black, so went ahead and picked it up again. I mean, look at that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do like maybe like a smudged eyeliner. I'm using one of my old cards from when I used to do nails. But I think I'm just gonna first apply it. I'm gonna apply it as if I was applying like gel liner and then slowly smudge it out. Usually I apply this like with my hands. I just kind of go in and rub it in. But I've picked up this e.l.f. brush for my putty primer and I just prefer to use a brush now. Oh, it's stinging a little. Okay, it does smell kind of like artificial. Like for foundation, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless in the shade 220 Natural Beige. This is my all-time favorite foundation. So with my foundations, especially the matte ones, I like to go in with my brush first as I'm doing, and then I go back in with my sponge. Now I'm going to be going in with my new bottle of the e.l.f. Hydrating Camel Concealer. This was in the shade Light Sand. Now to set that, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty setting powder in the shade Cupcake. This was mentioned in that Ulta haul. This are Ulta and Sephora haul. This came from Sephora. And I currently use the shade Pound Cake. This is Cupcake. And then for what I'm most excited for is this Beauty Blender Powder Puff. I've been seeing everyone saying that you should be using a powder puff to set your powder. So that's what I'm gonna do. And there's like a couple different spots you can stick your finger in. So press it right in there. Now on the packaging it says to apply with the pink side and then blend out with this softer like side. So I'm just going to apply and press it in for now. And I usually just like to place my setting powder wherever I apply concealer, because for the rest of my face I like to use something else. So now that my setting powder is in place, I'm gonna go in on the rest of my face with, couldn't find it for a second there, the Maybelline Superstay Powder Foundation in the shade 220 Natural Beige. Now yes, this is a powder foundation. To me personally, I don't feel like it goes on too heavy. I just like to take a big powder brush, and then wherever I didn't place the setting powder is where I will place this, and it gives my face such an airbrushed, like smooth finish. I love this stuff. I went through it so fast. And then I just use this to brush away the setting powder. But for the sake of this video, today I'll be using this side, since they say you're supposed to use this side of the powder puff. Now for my nose contour, I'm going to do things a little differently today because I picked up this NYX Jumbo Pencil. I already started peeling it because I knew it was going to be too much for the video to try to struggle here. But this is in the shade Milk. And yeah, I've been seeing people all over like Instagram and stuff using this to contour their nose. Let's see how it works for me. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I better not ruin all of my makeup. So basically how you would apply your concealer. Now I gotta blend it out. It looks ridiculous, but if it works, hey, I'm using my finger because I don't know what else to do. No, you know what? Let me use a brush. I'm going to use this Morphe brush. I'm going to start by, I guess, dab, dab, dab. And then I'm going to do the rest of my contour with a powder, not a cream. When I saw people doing it on Instagram, they were just using their finger real quick and it was like 2 swipes and they're done. But I'm not that brave. It's so white. I'm just like patting and like dabbing. I'm afraid to like swipe. I feel like I need to finish the whole nose contour to really like get the effect and see how I feel. I'm gonna apply a little bit of the powder over it so I can finish contouring with my powder contour stuff. I almost brushed the powder away and then I remembered. I still feel like I need to use the brush to like sweep away. It did apply it nicely. I like that I can get in the corners with this thing for sure. So not bad. Okay, let me finish the rest of my nose contour so we can, my lovely nursing bra keeps showing. I want to finish the rest of my nose contour so I can get like the full effect of the NYX Jumbo Pencil. For my nose contour, this is not new, but I'm just going to show you guys. This is the NYX contouring palette in powder. So I'm just going to probably take this second shade here, just a little light nose contour. Now I'm gonna go back in with that Beauty Blender sponge powder puff. I am going to let that sit for a little bit while I finish the rest of my face. Now I'm gonna go back in and finish my eyes. I'm gonna apply a little bit of this Covergirl Lash Blast Mascara and waterproof. This is my all-time favorite mascara ever. I used to use it back in the day. I stopped using it because I felt pressured to try other ones. And nope, came right back to it. Now I didn't curl my lashes just because both my daughters are napping and I feel like I'm running out of time here. So for lashes, I'm going to be using the same ones I always use. These are the Kiss in the style Posy. They're very natural looking lashes, which is what I like about them because I don't typically wear lashes unless I'm doing a look like this, then I will. So I just like the like full but still natural look, if that makes sense. And then the glue I'm going to be using is the Duo Glue in Clear. Okay, lashes are on. For my lower lash line, I'm just going to be taking that shade Sunday Funday and just smudging it into my lower lash line. For my lips, I'm going to be using the NYX Nude Truffle Lip Liner. This is not necessarily my new one from my haul, but I did purchase another one because I just love it that much. Then going in with the KKW Nude 1. Then going in with Butter Gloss and Fortune Cookie. Now I'm just going in with a little bit of highlighter just on my inner tear duct area. Some to my brow bone. Now, while my face is drying from that setting spray, I'm going to be using this Clairol Root Touch-Up Powder for, So, I've mentioned this before, I'm having a ton of postpartum hair loss right now, and it's awful. This is what that Clairol looks like. Here it is. It comes with a little brush, and there's a mirror up there. So I'm going to take out these little hair clips and start touching up these bald spots. So I'm just going to take it and kind of sweep this brush in there. And oh, I went a little too heavy-handed there. Now I'm in the shade Dark Brown, if anyone's wondering. I had a feeling black was going to be too black for me. I definitely feel like I probably need a different kind of brush though, maybe, because they probably weren't expecting somebody to have a big of a spot as this. I mean, it's not awful. It's not like the best. I feel like maybe I need to like blend my makeup into it. Okay, let me do something with this mop and I'll be back. Alright guys, there you have it. Here is the final look. So overall, I really liked all the products. Oh, my nose contour. I didn't even talk about that. The nose, I feel like, turned out really good, and it was a lot easier and less messier. It could have had something to do with that powder puff I was using, but I feel like when I use a cream contour, it just gets blotchy. I prefer powder, and then with that NYX Jumbo Pencil, I feel like it was really easy to do. So the only complaint I would have is with this Ulta brush cleaner. Like I was mentioning, when you spray one spray, a lot comes gushing out. Not gushing, I don't like that word. A lot comes sprayed out. So it left my brush soaked and it took a while to dry, versus with the It brush cleaner, this, like, when you spray it once, you get a little spritz and it really cleans the brush well, and then it's dry also. So that would be probably my only complaint. The NYX brow pen, I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? You tell me. Now that my whole face is on, they look better, but when I was first putting it on, it was like, ooh, that was a bit much. So I think moving forward, what I will do is fill them in like with my Benefit maybe brow pencil, and then go over with this and fill in any sparse like areas. But filling my brows in completely with this was a bit harsh. The Huda setting powder in the shade Cupcake, I absolutely love. It wasn't too off from Pound Cake, which I normally use, so I really did end up liking Cupcake. I'm glad I got it. I waited a really long time because I was so nervous that it was going to be too bright, but it actually ended up being a really good shade for me. I mean, at least I like it. This stuff was okay. I mean, I only used it like on my eyelids, as you guys saw, so I didn't apply like a huge amount of it, but it wasn't too off from the Huda Pound Cake shade. So that's what it kind of reminded me of. This little thing I really, really liked. I was a little nervous about using it at first because I was like, it was bigger than the normal sponge I use, but I really ended up liking it. So I do recommend this one, especially for getting in the corners here and getting that like perfect straight line down for contouring. That was amazing. This I'll have to update you guys on later on and see how it wears. Right now it's about 3:30, so we'll see at the end of the day how it looks, and then I'll kind of fill you guys in on my next makeup video and let you guys know how I feel about that. That Clairol hair powder, I mean, it's a little blotchy. I feel like maybe I need a different brush. That brush was kind of like short and the bristles were a little rough. So if I use a different brush, I think it'll look a lot better. But yeah, that's it for the new products. All those other products were just repurchases that I restocked up on because I absolutely already love them. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have any comments or questions. Leave them down below for me. I will try my best to answer them. And then as always, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye guys.